Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early December 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Cappies in early December? We're getting very close to your birthday season, my friends. So what energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you could lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Capricorn in early December. What's the vibe? What's the energy for our good friends? There we go. The card popped out nice and quick for you. Okay. I haven't seen her in a while, and notice she has the hourglass. This is like a timekeeper of sorts, and that could really affect a lot of different situations in a lot of different ways. It's a simple card, even with a simple color scheme, but there's a lot of nuance to it. So before we fully dive into it, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the December subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about this lovely lady. So we see her there. She has her little shawl or hood on, and she's holding this hourglass, and the sand is slipping through her fingers. That's a very powerful piece of symbolism right there. But when I see it, it could represent time in all its forms, affecting one situation or another that you might be going through. So some of you might be in wait mode, where it's like, I'm waiting. Maybe someone you're connected to is waiting. Time affects us all in a different way, right? Like, it's never linear. Some days fly by, some years fly by, some seem to drag. So for some of you, that could be happening in a variety of different ways, where maybe it's like, wow, where'd the year go? It's already December. For some of you, you might be going through situations where it just seems like I'm watching paint dry. So watch out for that. It's very Saturnian. This can also be a little bit of a restrictive type of energy. And it could also be advice from spirit saying like, hey, maybe whatever it is you're dealing with, it's only a matter of time, or maybe you need to give it a little bit of time. Okay, so we're just going to let her chill right there. You see what I mean? It could affect you with many nuances, but she could keep watching the time tick. We're going to get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my Cappies. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So we did have some pretty good energy, and it's been like that for a couple of weeks now. So hopefully we'll get to keep that going. But the reading was titled An Explosive Win. Now, explosive energy can sometimes be a little volatile. It could rush in. It could be really quick, like just super intensifying type of vibes. And wins and victories, they come in all shapes and sizes, right? So whether it's monetary, work, business, personal relationships, communication. So hopefully you had one, and just know the energy could still bleed over. You might have a lot of good energy coming in. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this out. It's for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for the Cappies. What do we have? Pardon me. What do we have for the Cappies? And okay. All right, so we got the Hermit in position number 1. Are you in Hermit mode there, Capricorn? And notice it reminds me of that Oracle a little bit. Like, he has a hood as well. He's looking at his lantern. She's holding an hourglass. Very interesting symbolism showing up here. Let's get a couple more. Hermit's not necessarily a bad card. It's just a little private. It's a retracted, pulled back type of energy. Let's get a couple more. Cool. Yeah, this energy is like getting its bearings straight. We got the 2 of Pentacles in the center. I like this. I mean, the energy seems to be medium, if that makes sense, at least right now. It's your power element at the very least, and we'll get into that a little more too. This could be really good potentially. So I'm still liking the energy that we're seeing, and I can see the wait and see or waiting type of mode for some of you. So that is showing up. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, let's talk about the elements. I always feel like that's very important. It tells us how things are moving in different areas of life that can be affected. And your spread this week is very much earth heavy. You are an earth sign, so this is your power element right here in front end with the Hermit and the Two of Pentacles. Now, when I see earth, it could represent the material world we live in. It could represent career, business, finances, investments, home, family. So think of the world, the material, touchable world with this. And usually it's great for stability. So energy not really rocking. Total opposite of what we saw last week, where it was super explosive. This energy is much more even keeled, at least initially. We still got to clarify them, of course. The only downside to earth energy is sometimes it could drag on a little bit, or sometimes it could, feel a little stuck. Back end, we have some water, though, the realm of emotions and feelings. And as an earth sign, you vibe pretty well when it comes to water signs and water energy. Cups are emotional expression. They're very creative. They can connect to partnerships as well. Same with the two. So we have a lot of hidden undertones here. But when we combine the water and the earth together, that represents potential blessings and abundance. So I'm cautiously optimistic. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we're starting with the Hermit. So for some of you, maybe you have Virgo placements, maybe you're connected to one because this is their card. And the Hermit gets misunderstood from time to time. Because, yeah, sure, is he quiet? Absolutely. Is he retracted and pulled back? Sure, he is. There's a mystery to him as well, especially since it's at nighttime, very dark, very shrouded. So maybe there's some situations where you have questions or there's certain things that are outside of your view with the Hermit. It does have some rough side, but let's go through the positives first. It's very wise, highly spiritual. It knows things deep down on the inside. It's very much in tune with his intuition. But the downside to the Hermit, it could represent communication issues. It could represent solitude, loneliness, um, feeling alone, and stuff like that. So for some of you, maybe you're wanting a little companionship when this card is in the mix. The Hermit is definitely a little clunky when it comes to the conversation. Now, I could tell you that. Or maybe some of you are just in hermit mode, just doing your own thing, minding your own business. Nothing wrong with that. It's very quiet. So we'll circle back on him and see what we're looking at. Now, moving to the middle, we have another card that generally seems pretty chill to me. We have the Two of Pentacles as we get the Hermit right there next to the Amethyst. And we see this individual with the funny hat. He's juggling those pentacles. Notice there's an infinity symbol in the card where it's doing a little figure eight. So this is a karmic card to me. But in tarot and numerology divination, twos represent decisions, choices, crossroads, partnerships even. So all twos can represent it. But the thing I love about the Two of Pentacles, the bright side, is that it represents harmony, harmonious, flowing, flow state type of energy, which is really, really nice. So hopefully, I mean, when I see the Hermit with the Two of Pentacles, it's like, okay, I just need to catch my breath here. Oh, I just need to chill and let things settle down. That's kind of the vibe I'm picking up with this initially. Now, the downside to the Two of Pentacles, aside from the harmony, the balance, and the karmic archetypes, is the guy's literally juggling too. So yeah, he's trying to balance something out, but this card can often show up when you're very busy, when you have a lot on your plate, a lot on your mind, you're doing a lot of stuff. So we're going to see if this is a juggling of some sort when this card is here. So let's get him back by the Hermit. Now, moving to the back end, we have a card that has a lot of potential here, Capricorn. We have the Ace of Cups, beautiful. And you know me, if you watch on a regular basis, I love all aces. They represent offers and opportunities, especially the Ace of Cups. It is tied more to the emotional and interpersonal relationships, but it doesn't just have to be that. It's fresh, it's new. There's some downsides to aces as well. I mean, the fact that they're like so fresh and new tells me that they're not a guarantee. The thing with aces, they could be a little flighty, where it's like here 1 second, gone the next. So it's like there might be something where you might have to pounce to really acquire it. And they're huge cards of communication, conversations, talks, messages. And the only downside with the Ace of Cups, aside from what we already discussed, is it could just be telling us about someone's emotional state right now. So whether we're looking at your emotional place and state or somebody else's or emotions in general, that's going to be a big hint for us. So I want to dive deeper on all the Capricorn. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my friends. What do we got? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message. which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on Mr. Hermit here. Let's see what he has for us. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cappy, could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the Hermit in the mix? What is this retracted energy? Okay. Okay, this doesn't feel like you. I mean, for some of you, maybe it can be. It's an energy where it's like, I don't want to be seen. I really don't want to be seen. It is super, super private, super concealed. So we have the Queen of Wands in reverse underneath it, and we're definitely going to have to explore it as we move further through the reading, because the Queen of Wands, to me, if you're not connected to a fire sign, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, she ties in very closely to how someone feels about themselves, self-confidence, aesthetics, and looks. So when I see the Hermit with her, it's like, I don't feel too good about myself right now. So again, I'm not saying it's you. Could be somebody else a little down in the dumps, lacking confidence. That's why I said it's not really like Capricorn energy to me. Granted, we're all humans, but when my experience shows me that most Capricorns are pretty competent and pretty confident individuals. But again, we're all humans, right? The Hermit with the Queen of Wands in reverse is like, I don't want to be seen. I don't want anyone looking at me. So again, whether this is how someone's acting in general in Hermit mode, I don't want to be around people. Like, it's giving me that vibe. It could also just be very secretive. That's another thing. So aside from all that social type of stuff, when I see the Hermit with the Queen of Wands in reverse, is like very secretive. Like there might be information that somebody is keeping in or holding in. So we're going to see if that persists throughout the reading itself. I don't want to call it a problem just yet, but it is someone laying low or in this Hermit-esque type of mode. Hopefully you haven't taken a hit to your confidence recently, but let's keep moving. Someone may have. Let's see what's up with the Two of Pentacles. We'll see if the energy is balanced or not. I think that's super important. So why is the Two of Pentacles here? It's just very quiet, very, very quiet in the front. So why is the two here? I mean, a lot of low numbers. This could be good for stuff coming up. Oh, okay, I'll take it. And this energy is just, I need to lock in here. I mean, we have the Queen of Swords in the upright underneath this Two of Pentacles. Now we have air sign. Notice we got double queens, and queens usually represent the internal aspects of their suit. So whereas she's about confidence, she is about mindset, mind state, keeping my head on straight, keeping my mind on track. So there is somebody here doing a bit of a balancing act. Okay, so again, whether it's somebody digesting information, figuring something out, Two of Pentacles with the Queen of Swords is like, I am mentally strong. It's like somebody, hyping themselves up in the morning, like, I got this, I'm the best. It's like giving me that kind of energy, which I think is good. I mean, it's confident. It's someone trying to get their confidence back. However, the thing with the Queen of Swords is she's a bit different from her. She could be very serious. If you're not connected to an air sign, the Queen of Swords is stern, serious, honest, straightforward. So it's like we have the very secretive energy here. In the center, we have a very, very blunt, serious vibe. So again, whether this is a shift in somebody or you and somebody else, we have one energy that's a little secretive, very quiet, and then the other energy that's just blunt, straight to the point, tell it like it is type of vibe, and it is very serious. Now, I do want to see if it moves on into the conversation, because that's always an interesting dynamic when one side is holding back some information, another side is just straight to the point. I mean, that they're kind of opposites. So let's keep moving. And I would say if you haven't chatted with someone in a while, or someone's like being quiet or not being as communicative as they usually are, they might just be trying to get themselves sorted out. Like, that's kind of the vibe I'm picking up too. Aside from all the other messages, this energy, it's like, I'm not feeling too confident. I need to get my head on straight. It's somebody just squaring themselves away. Let's move in on the Ace of Cups. So I think there's a lot of good energetic potential here. That's for sure. So why is the Ace of Cups in the mix? Why is it here for Capricorn, please? And we'll do our recap. Okay, then the energy does emerge much better. So we have three different ways to potentially approach something. That's initially how it's showing up to me, because they're all very, very different in their approach. Whereas like the one on the front end is quiet, whatever will be, very, very silent, a little secretive. This one in the center, straightforward and blunt. This one is much more empathetic and caring, which feels better to me. Now, we are definitely in the realm of conversation and communication here, but it's like, all right, well, which way would you go? Like, how would you handle this conversation if it pops up, or how do you handle these communications in general? I think the back two are obviously the way to go because they move the energy forward, but we have strength in the upright. So Leo energy showing up here, also karmic. It has the universal symbol on top of it. If it's not a Leo, to me, it's nurturing, loving, caring, angelic type of energy. Now, it can represent restraint. That's the big thing with strength. So when I see the Ace of Cups with this, it's a little softer, it's a little more restrained, it's a little pulled back. So I think if there are certain situations you're dealing with, there's a time and a place for every one of these conversation styles. I think this one is the optimal. This one's the second best, where it's like you could be blunt, you could be honest, but you don't have to be mean. Or there's one that just kind of holds it back a little bit, a little bit. It doesn't mean you have to lie or placate somebody. But when I see the Ace of Cups with strength, if we are talking about a serious conversation, serious talk or topic that could pop up, for a lot of you, Spirit might be saying like you catch more flies with honey, if that makes sense. So a lot of communication showing up here, but we have vastly, vastly different approaches. Now, if these are different people you're surrounded by, or even one person where it's like, hey, I don't know which day of the week, it's like one day it's like this, then the next day it's like this, that could be a little bit frustrating. But back here is energy of patience, calm, and maybe hold back a little bit. You could be honest, but just hold it back a little bit, especially with serious topics. So let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. So I would say overall, big picture, this one is surrounded by communication, especially those of more serious topics. But position number one, we start with the Hermit and the Queen of Wands, very secretive, like I mentioned. Now, this could also represent someone that's not feeling too confident, maybe in hermit mode. I don't want to be looked at. I don't want to be around people. I just want to, be in my own cave. But aside from that, it's just somebody being very hush hush. So there is this secretive type of vibe showing up. Moving to the middle, we have the Two of Pentacles with the Queen of Swords, total opposite, straightforward, blunt, and to the point. Which I mean, these are two totally different vibes here in the front. I also get someone getting their head on straight. So this could be someone that's just trying to get themselves together, get themselves squared away. Moving to the back end, we have the Ace of Cups with the Strength card in the upright. So we do see conversation specifically of more serious topics potentially or importance. But this to me is the softer approach, where this is no approach because it's not saying a damn thing. This one is like straightforward, blunt, no frills. I'm telling it like it is, which I think is viable. I'm an Aries, so I like that. But here on the back end, we have a bit of a softer, where it's like, all right, well, we could figure this out, but it's not going hard, right? It's not going full bore. It's more caring and soft. So please, Capricorn, take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. What do we got for the Cappies? And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They can be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card going. What do we got for Capricorn, please? Oh, okay. Interesting. So the Two of Pentacles, the balanced approach, as we were saying. So remember in this, we have the two extreme different approaches, even though the Two of Pentacles is here. Two of Pentacles is your shadow card as well. So there's something here showing up about taking the middle path, the middle ground, the middle approach. Like, don't push too hard. Don't be a rug that someone's walking all over. I know you're not, but the energy's talking about a big middle path. Now, for those of you with a lot on your mind, you're very busy. Yeah, maybe get into hermit mode for a little bit. Like the Two of Pentacles, remember, it's balancing, it's harmonious, it's trying to get its bearings straight. So that makes sense with a lot of the things we're seeing here. But there is this vibe about extremes in any case. We don't even have to be talking about the main part of the reading. So there could be certain things going on, doesn't matter what it is, work, business, or relationships, where Spirit's like middle path, take the middle ground. Don't take an extreme. So we're going to put that Two of Pentacles right there, my beautiful friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The December subscriber surprise. If you would like further clarification on your situation, you can book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My December schedule is live right now, and the spots go quick, so go check it out, see what's available if you want to have a chat with me. But for the December subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks for all skill levels, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards, which one do you resonate with most? When you see it in a reading, it's like, yeah, that's me. Put your answer in the comments. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.